Hey there, and welcome to another one of our Brexit Explained videos. Before we start, I have a quick favour to ask. We always promote our social media channels, but today I want to ask you to follow us on Twitter for a very specific reason. As we grow, we want to be able to talk to, collaborate with, and interview influential people in the areas we discuss. One major way to get people's attention is through Twitter. Currently our followers over there aren't that impressive and really lag behind our YouTube subscribers. So even if you don't use Twitter very much, please lend us a hand and lend us some clout by giving us a follow. It's really appreciated. Today I want to talk about the Labour-Tory compromise that's been in the news for a few weeks now. After May's deal was defeated for a third time at the end of March, it became obvious that no deal was getting through Parliament without cross-party support. At the beginning of the talks, both parties were sounding positive, but the talks seem to have cooled off a bit recently. However, in the aftermath of the terrible local election results that we reflected on in a video a couple of days ago, both Corbyn and May claimed that their parties losing votes in the ballot box was due to the fact that they hadn't got Brexit sorted yet. We mentioned it in the last video, but this analysis is questionable at best. Given that anti-Brexit parties, the Lib Dems and the Greens, were both big winners over the weekend, it's hard to see how it follows from this that voters want Brexit over and done with. But nonetheless, this is what May and Corbyn decided the results meant. This has provided some extra incentive for them to get a deal together and Brexit through, even prompting a public Facebook note from Theresa May, which I had no idea was a thing, but there we are. We'll put a link down in the description for anyone who wants to check that out but doesn't want to have to use Google. Anyway, on Sunday, Tim Shipman, the Sunday Times political editor, wrote a piece on how exactly the compromise might look. According to his piece, May is going to offer Corbyn a customs union until 2022, when, according to the Fixed Term Parliament Act, the next general election has to take place. Then the Tories and Labour could battle it out in an election. If the Tories won, they could pursue their harder version of Brexit. And if Labour won, they could go for their presumably softer, permanent customs union version of Brexit. The idea is that as a sort of middle ground compromise, both May and Corbyn whip their MPs to vote for the deal, and then hopefully it goes through. May will be hoping that the success of the pro-Remain parties in the recent local elections and the threat of the Brexit party stealing Conservative votes will encourage some of the more hardcore Brexiteers in her party to back the deal. This is because even the hardcore Brexiteers want to avoid a second referendum, or the Tory vote being split by Nigel Farage, which would make winning a general election under the first-past-the-post system nearly impossible. So assuming Corbyn agrees to it, which is a big assumption in itself, will this work? Well, even if both Labour and the Conservatives whip for it, it doesn't look like it's going to pass. As you might have realised, party discipline has sort of broken down over Brexit, and it's unlikely many MPs will actually listen to their leaders. Also, it's hard to overstate how unpopular the customs union is with Conservative MPs. Only 32 Tories voted for it in the indicative votes, which is about 10% of their parliamentary party. On the other side, it's not popular with Labour MPs either. 75 Labour MPs have already said that they won't be voting for the deal unless it's got a second referendum tied to it. And remember, this isn't even a permanent customs union, which most Labour MPs see as a bare minimum. The problem with this is the same problem as always. If the deal gets softer, in inverted commas, while May might gain some support from more Labour MPs, she'll lose the support from at least as many of her own Conservatives on the other end. Equally, if the deal gets harder, she might gain some Conservative MPs, but she'll lose a whole lot of Labour ones. This means that there's no guarantee that her deal will even get through. The only thing that she can be sure of is that she'll really annoy backbench Brexiteer MPs. Equally, Corbyn can't guarantee that he'll get the deal through. He can only guarantee that he'll really annoy some of his MPs. Both Corbyn and May risk splitting their parties on the off chance that they can squeeze a deal through. Not to be too negative, but this compromise is rubbish for another reason too. It doesn't really change anything. If the withdrawal agreement gets through just as it is, the UK is definitely going to stay in the customs union until 2022 anyway. According to the current withdrawal agreement, the UK will enter a transition period until December 2020, where everything's basically the same as it is now, which can be extended even further to December 2022. Given that it's already May 2019, if the deal gets through now, the UK is definitely going to need that extension to give it enough time to sort out a new trading agreement. Also, if the withdrawal agreement passes, the UK will have agreed a backstop. While this doesn't necessarily mean a customs union, it precludes any additional infrastructure or checks on the Irish border, which effectively means that a customs union must be in place until technology which allows for different customs schedules without any physical infrastructure is developed, if this technology ever exists. According to even Sajid Javid's rather optimistic proposal, this won't be until 2030. Basically, the withdrawal agreement already included a commitment for customs union until at least 2022. So May's new compromise, in inverted commas, isn't really all that different from the original offer. So that's why the compromise is actually pretty rubbish. Do you disagree? Comment below to let us know. Make sure you're subscribed to us to find more Brexit videos as they're released. Also follow us across our other social channels so that you can be updated when we post exclusive content and new articles. You can find us by searching for TLDR News.